Greetings, T-Mot back again for another drive time. Y'all will have to forgive that knocking that you hear in the background. Do not be concerned. Do not be alarmed. I needed to do this drive time because a lot of people are commenting on my post about Flynn. One guy who I still do count as a friend, decided to comment and said, if we think, or if we are applauding this as a victory, our heads are up Trump's rear end. And of course, you know me, you know how I am. I replied, no, your head is up yours. Remove it and wipe your eyes. And maybe he might see. So, because this guy is a friend of mine, and then there was another guy who decided to come on there and say the man is guilty, and just a lot of conversation going on because people hate this. So let me explain the gist of this situation so that you all will get it and understand what's going on. Now, let's be clear. And I did a video back in the days of the Council of 12 where I talked about how our judicial system works. 97% of all cases never go to trial unless prosecutors simply want to put a feather in their cap and they have got the goods. Okay, they've got you dead to rights and they want to see you doing time. That's simply what that is all about. So those cases, they're going to go to trial because they want the publicity. They want to be seen as the hero going after the tough crimes. But they absolutely count on plea deals. Because if everybody exercised their right to a jury trial, the system would fall apart immediately. Nothing would ever get done. And I remember a video that said, damn a plea deal, crank up the jury. Because if you know that you're innocent, if everybody, and you know what, let me put it this way. Not just the people that are innocent, but the people that are charged with crimes that they did not commit. Now, they may not be completely innocent, but it is a known fact. And so let me explain a few things. I've got all this stuff on my Facebook wall, but rare people read it to get an understanding of exactly who I am. I have worked with the law enforcement industry for probably 30 years. I know at least 25. In that time, I have written I'm going to pull over here for a minute, roll down my window and stop and just talk to you because, I don't want to rush. I have seen people overcharged. They do it all the time. Well, that's where the term we're going to throw the book at him. In other words, charge him with everything that you can reasonably think of, and maybe we'll get him to cop to one of them, or we'll get a conviction on something. That's what throwing the book at someone is all about. So now that we have that understood, and when people are locked up, a common tactic for prosecutors is to go in and say, all right, this is what we're going to offer you, a deal. We're going to drop XYZ. That's the bulk of what the book was. And we're offering you this charge. And with this charge, we're offering you this amount of time. The thing of it is, a person could be innocent of that crime and they know it. Wrong place, wrong time, completely innocent. Who knows what the circumstances may be? I do know this much. Many young black boys' lives are ruined with that felony conviction because it sets them up to become a product of a revolving door in in prison, in and out. And once you get that felony conviction on your record, most people aren't even able to overcome the stigma that it places on you. They don't have that fight in them, and they just give up and they just stick with the system. That's what happens in many of these cases. And people say, well, why are you saying you're just being racist? No, I'm not being racist. I'm telling you what I have seen. When the white kids with the money come through, they have an attorney. Okay, their parents can afford an attorney. They don't go with the public defenders, and they tell them, keep your mouth shut, don't say anything. We got this covered. They're out of it, or they just will say, well, I didn't want to ruin that young child's life, so we're going to give them the First Offenders Act. When people used to come through the bonding companies, I used to manage a set of bonding companies as well. I would tell those kids, keep your damn mouth closed. Get an attorney, even if it's a public defender. Get an attorney, and don't listen to that plea deal crap if you know that you're innocent. Now, if you did it, far be it from me to tell you to go in and lie. I think if you make your bed, you ought to sleep in your bed. That was the advice that I would give, but I would always tell them, as a matter of being prudent, get an attorney so that if you are guilty, the attorney will protect all of your constitutional rights while you're dealing with this process. So are we clear? There's a disadvantage to what happens to the poor. And I know a lot of people these days want to say people of color, black and brown people, man, go ahead on with that nonsense. And African American, boy, I can't stand that term. Anyway, moving right along. And I'm going to get to Flynn in just a minute. It won't take me long to get there, but I want you to understand how our justice system works. So one of the guys commenting, I asked him, he said, there is no justice, because, Flynn has been, the charges have been dropped. There is no justice. And I said, okay, so when Trump went into office, all of the people that he walked in the door and started pardoning because they had spent decades in prison, given time that they should not have given, had or wouldn't have gotten had they been white. You don't think they found justice when Trump urged that we need to do something different? All of the people that he was pardoning, not at the end of his presidency, like most of them do, but as soon as he walked in the door, you don't think that they found justice? Signing a criminal justice reform bill that Bill Clinton signed, that Joe Biden said, I am proud that I wrote it. I think it was a great piece of legislation, which ultimately started sending Negroes to prison in droves with a 3 strikes you're out. Never passed at the state level, but the state level simply taking it up as precedents because it was being done at the federal level. You don't think that those black people that were set free when Trump signed the criminal justice reform bill, you don't think they found justice? Now, we know what the CIA and the FBI are capable of doing. They spied on Martin Luther King, so the man cheated. Hell, who hasn't? Well, I know that there are some perfect people out there that have never cheated, but you know what? They may have had some other perfections. Rather than focusing on the good that Martin Luther King did, because the man gave up all, they may have had some tapes on him having sex with another woman, but it wouldn't have been used to impugn his moral character. It would have been used to destroy him in the eyes of others, because he was exposing the system of our country. Remember, I have said, because there are people that come at me, man, oh, that's not happening. That's just, hold up. This country used to own and trade in slavery. Negroes, that's right. My forefathers, they would kill them, and this was legal. Nothing. So, and understand something, it was just the law. It was a mindset of the people that were engaged in that activity. Mindset, how you think. So our society understands that if we want to control the people and treat them like crap, we got to attack the mindset. Media, the most effective devil in America. That is how they do it. They get you to thinking the crap. But anyway, they wanted to destroy Martin Luther King's moral character because he was exposing the system of Jim Crow and racism and segregation, and they didn't like that. So they would have used any means necessary, which is going to get me to Flynn and Trump. So understand and do not ever think that our government is not capable of some of the most damnable deeds possible. Government is a necessary evil, true, because there are some fools that just are not going to follow the rules, like those two asses down there in Brunswick, Georgia, that killed that black man. And there are people already trying to make apologies for that. Georgia law says if you observe someone committing a crime, seeing somebody walking through an abandoned park, they coming up with all kind of crap to try and justify what these two asses did in taking that young man's life. And even if he was on some property, well, I ain't seen no video of it, but even if he was, does that warrant a death sentence? Now, I made a comment, and I know I am digressing, but I got to throw it in there. I made a comment. If I were jogging down the street, number one, I would have had my gun on. Number two, if two asses in the back of a pickup truck came and approached me, I would have turned and said, piss off, and I would have turned and continued to run. Now, if they would not let it go, and they had weapons pointed at me, I would have feared for my life, and I would have done the whatever that fool's name was down there in Florida. I would have stood my ground, and I would have shot their asses in defense of my life, sat down on the ground, laid my gun down, called 911, and when the police arrived, I would have said I was standing my ground. They approached me. It is obvious I have committed no crime, and nobody can say I was stealing anything or breaking in anyone's house, but I feared for my life because these racist pricks decided they wanted to profile me. Now, that's that particular case, but this is a mindset. So that's what I'm trying to make the point on. This is a mindset. Oh, and something else, when I did my show the other night, y'all, sorry about the audio. It was our first live one, but the folk, DJ Deb and Anthony Pines, I thank them. They did a wonderful job in helping me put that together, and the next show will be much better. I mentioned this again, getting to the mindset. I have white conservative friends that support people like Kelly Lafleur and Doug Collins. I got the invite to appear on a show, and I put up the screen last night showing that image of people that were going to be on the forum tomorrow. Guess what? I know I have went way off track, but that's all right. Y'all bear with me for a minute. I don't do these drive times that much, so give me a few minutes to kind of get this out. And I said the mind of the GOP. When they abandoned blacks in 1877, the Compromise of 1877, after Lincoln was gone, because Lincoln was the one leading the charge for justice in America for the Negro, and after he was gone, the Republicans, the GOP made a deal with the South, Compromise of 1877. They basically say, the hell with black folks, and we got Jim Crow and all of that other nonsense that came along with it. Marriage license. Many of you don't know that the marriage license was simply to keep whites from marrying blacks or blacks from marrying whites. It had nothing to do with, anything else. Anyway, let me try and get back on point. So the point I was making, there is my image on there, this Democratic 2020 Senate candidate forum. You said Democratic, but I didn't see Lafleur or Collins. And the reason you didn't see them is because they don't give a damn. See, in 2014, when I ran 2016, everybody was talking about inclusion in the GOP establishment because they was being called on the carpet because of people like me and other libertarians like Catherine Bernard, Ted Metz, and I could go on and on, name and name. Yeah, why aren't you reaching out to black folks? Because they don't give a damn. I'm talking about the establishment, not talking about the rank and file, like my friends. But what my friends don't see, those folk don't give a damn about people like me with black skin. That's why they aren't in the community. So I said this last night, and then this morning, just to be on the safe side, I emailed the organizer of this event, and I said, are you aware that I am a Republican, number one? And two, did you invite Lafleur and Collins? They said, we invited both of them, and we know that you are a Republican. We never heard back from Collins, and then they gave me a new image where Kelly Lafleur's picture is right there in the upper left-hand corner as going to appear. I don't believe in coincidences. I'm just going to tell you. And I know people keep up with what I'm doing, because you know what? I hear people echoing things that I have been saying for years at the top, coming out with it. But I was already telling you, because I keep my head buried in this stuff just so I know what the hell is going on, are doing it to us, why they are doing it to us, and why we are allowing it to happen. And I try to keep you up to speed so that you can see this stuff. But the GOP establishment don't give a damn about the Negro community, and this Kelly Lafleur making her appearance. Okay, like I say, no coincidences. I'm telling you, it is all about the save face. I don't recall her reaching out to black folks when she was getting ready to be nominated by Kemp. I don't recall her coming into the black community or reaching out to my community, trying to meet with Hank Johnson. Hey, well, how can we work together to do X, Y, Z to get black people to understand that we are not the racists that you think that we are? Now, I'm not accusing her of being a racist, or Collins for that matter, but I will say not reaching out at all is a sign of not giving a damn. And when you don't give a damn, hey, what else am I supposed to think? So that was that point. That is mindset. Are y'all following me? Mindset. Now let me backtrack up to what I was talking about where I left off with King. Mindset. Slavery. Mindset. Okay. Trump runs for office, and I keep telling people, see, I still remember the very first debate. And I heard what Trump said when they were getting on him. Well, you gave to Democrats and you supported Democrats and you supported Jesse Jackson and you did X, Y, Z. Trump made it crystal clear. He said, I had to for my family, my businesses, and my employees. It was the only way that I could operate and remain profitable and be able to do what I'm doing. When he talked about his employees, he's talking about people here in this country. Okay, not over in China, but people over here in this country. And what Trump recognized, and I made a video about it, I said, Trump said, and I don't let mine. Okay, look like the video picked back up. Sorry about that drop. I don't know what all you missed me saying, but let me finish. Trump was basically saying, I'm tired of paying the bastards on both sides of the aisle. If I allow them to keep going with what they're doing, I won't have anything, because you see, Trump is self-made. Most of these folk up there in D.C., they go in, ordinary citizens like us, and on $120,000 or $140,000 salary, after a decade or two or three or four, they become multimillionaires. That's what they do. So, mindset. Now, Trump in that first debate made it clear, I want to make America great again. And see, many folk don't understand what that was about. They switched it up, want to make America racist again. Lord have mercy. How could a Negro let that come out of their mouths when when black folk have been catching hell with the crime bill since 1994? I don't even understand it. The man wasn't even talking about that. What Trump was talking about, bringing opportunity back into this country, because he knew what had happened with the trade deals in China and the infiltration of illegal immigrants, the infiltration of folk coming in this country to infiltrate from other countries, the Middle Eastern. Trump understood that. Trump saw that it was destroying this country. He recognized that our United States politicians have taken the backbone of this country and outsourced it to China and other countries. Same thing with Corona. When they got shut down here, the two different labs that they worked on it here, guess what they did? They outsourced it to China. And they are still lying, still trying to make it up. Any rate, let me go ahead and wrap up on mindset. Trump is going to start overturning the money changers' tables. With that, they all recognize, oh man, we can't have this. We cannot have this man trying to overturn our tables. He gonna mess up everything. Okay? We gotta stop him. So they spied on him. Mindset. Then they lied and told collusion. Who was it that brought the dossier to the FBI in the first place? John McCain, a rhino. Then when those two didn't work, they said, well, we need to impeach this knucklehead because he's making us look like dummies. I mean, the man done signed prison reform, man funding HBCU. We got to get his butt out of office. He is killing us, especially with making America great again, wanting to bring jobs back here. That's going to drop the amount of profit that they make here in this country, because that's really all they care about. Why do you think a small business in this country would hire somebody that came in the country illegally? They ain't got to pay no workman's comp. They ain't got to get no insurance. They ain't got to give them no benefits. They would pay them $5 an hour versus having to pay somebody what the market rate would call for, $10 or $12 an hour. I don't know what it is. I've never done construction. That's how that happened. That's where those went. Don't you understand that the corporations understand the same thing? Hey, why pay $15 an hour to make Nike sneakers here in this country when we can pay somebody over there in China, Taiwan, or wherever the hell else it may be, down in Mexico, $2.50 an hour? Why would we pay here that when we can increase the bottom line for our shareholders, huh? So let us throw the wealth over to China, because China is going to make us wealthy, and then we'll just burden the people here in America with all the debt. And that's what we have been getting for decades. And somebody who just can't stand Trump made the comment, well, this ain't got nothing to do with Trump. This is about making all of us slaves. And I say, man, damn, what part of it you won't get? You just won't give the man a break. You won't open up your eyes to see nothing. When we, black people, were freed from slaves, okay, an era ended where the South could make mega profits off of the backs of Negroes, okay, for a minimal amount of investment in labor, because they had it for free, all right? And of course, the cost for buying the slave in the first place. When all of that ended, it changed everything for the South. That's the reason why they fired the first bullet. So, understanding that, the bankers, when they almost failed in 1910, they had been trying to bring in a central banking system. Even George Washington said, beware of the central banking system. Even Andrew Jackson had to stop him. Even Lincoln understood, and that's why he had the greenbacks. People have understood this and have fought against it for good reason. Even John F. Kennedy understood it. Well, in 1910, they almost failed. Read the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. In 1913, they gave us a central banking system. That is when they made slaves of everybody. So I replied to this guy, I said, damn, man, they have been trying to control us all since 1913. Stop it. This is about Trump. And I have posted on Facebook probably 50 times. One man, our economy, and one election. Get his butt out of office at all costs. That is the heart of what this Wuhan situation is all about, this corona situation. And you may not want to believe it, and you're going to come back, man, that's just too far-fetched, and I'm going to bring you back again. This country once traded in human lives, the lives of the Negro. So if you think people don't have the mindset, if you think they aren't capable of it, you have no clue. Now let me wrap up with Flynn. To get at Trump, we need to go after his support base. We need to make Trump look corrupt by association. So anybody they thought they had something on, they went after. And everyone that they got, guess what? Nothing ever landed on Trump. Michael Cohen, even Avenatti, who had nothing to do with Trump, tried to come at him through an association, alleged association with the woman Stormy Daniels. They tried everything. And so with Flynn, one of his most loyal supporters, and it is documented. This is what I don't understand. People are commenting, if you find joy in this, your head is up your butt. Damn, man. The notes have been released. The information has been exposed. It was set out. We want to either get him fired or charged with a crime, even if we got to make it up. It was a setup. And they illegally charged him with false, for committing a crime that he did not, the man was not guilty of any of that. And somebody said, well, he's guilty of something. And I said, damn, again, here we go. People won't see. And this was a white person. I had to say to him, before you focus on the plank, the speck of dust in another man's eye, focus on a plank in yours. If he's guilty of something, favor us with the explanation. Tell us what it is. Otherwise, why don't you start with telling us about some of the crap that you've done in your past that you weren't convicted of? The law says you are innocent until proven guilty of a crime, period. But that did not matter to the FBI. That did not matter to Comey. That did not matter to Schiff. That did not matter to any of them. It didn't matter to J. Edgar Hoover. It did not matter to FBI when they were spying on Martin Luther King. It was about trying to destroy a movement. This is about trying to destroy a movement, a vision that Donald Trump had, that you and I, people like me, have been wanting for a long time. Somebody that would stand up to these corrupt ass politicians in Washington, D.C. And I keep telling y'all, the people that you support, that you vote for, that are up there, those 535, they knew about this crap and they didn't do anything about it. They didn't do a damn thing about it. They talk about, well, we need to balance the budget. They know damn well you can't balance the budget in our current monetary system. That was just air. And I know I'm going off now, but I'm trying to get you to see where we are. This is a mindset that permeates D.C. And the problem is that mindset has corrupted and poisoned the minds of individuals that they can't even see how the FBI being exposed for the corrupt acts that they committed against General Flynn needed to be exposed, and there needs to be a purging and there needs to be a prosecution. That is justice. And to think that that is something to not be celebrated, you are a fool of the first kind. And the liberal media, rhinos and Democrats have you exactly where they want you, because you refuse to see. You refuse to acknowledge that there is something systemically wrong in this country when you have a woman being arrested. Now, somebody, another friend of mine, liberal friend, he posted this thing. Person got a mask on and somebody yelling, and they got a little bitty, and I hope he's listening to him. I'm not going to call his name. Got a little bitty viruses, going at the person. So what? The individual has got a mask on. That protects you. The individual should be disinfecting, should be washing. He should have backed up from the individual or told the person when they walked up and, hey man, get the hell out of my face. I have said more than one time, when I go out, I'm strapped. I will tell you, hey, get up off me. Give me my space. So if we aren't smart enough to govern ourselves that way, then, maybe you do need a babysitter. But they have got you twisted up, caught up, and going, seeing what is not even there. I asked one guy, what do you need? A personal phone call from God himself? But you know what? Jesus said, some of them, even if they saw it, they wouldn't recognize it. They wouldn't know a damn thing that I was trying to get across to them. Do you remember doubting Thomas? Jesus standing there right in front of him. Oh, I don't believe you. Hell, he got to stick his hand in the man's side. These are the types of things I'm talking about. Mindset. And the moment, if you are caught up and you still don't get it, I had somebody, and there's no offense to them, and, well, how do you know this? Well, damn it, I focus. I pay attention. I listen. They're talking about Fauci. I intentionally misspelled his name, so, I know y'all see that post. He's not going to testify. That's them just trying to cover up. And the lady had to set him straight. She said, no, he's not going before Congress. He's going to go before the Senate. And you want to know why Trump is going to let him testify before the Senate? So that his ass will be on display. You want to know something else? Because he knows in the goes to testify there, it ain't gonna be nothing but a circus show to keep most of you that believe that what is happening to us is in reality not a hoax, where it is a hoax. I'm not saying the virus is not real. I'm not saying virus does not kill. That is not what I said. But, just like when Trump used the word disinfectant, somebody's going to think that, I said, hey, go and drink Clorox. Who the hell knows how these people come up with some of the things that they think. But getting back to the point, he is going to testify before the Senate, where they will ask real questions. And it won't be about bolstering up or holding up, lifting up, solidifying this false narrative that they keep pushing down our throats about this situation. All right. Remember the wet market wasn't real. Came out of a lab. I posted something I got from a pharmacist that said we all know in her industry that the U.S. and China are known for biological experiments, biological warfare, chemical and chemical agents. And this was manipulated in a lab. Even China has admitted, but you still hear people say, no, it came from the wet market. Well, if it came from the wet market, give me a big bat. All right. Give me one of them bat burgers from McDonald's out of China. All right. Man, it gets frustrating sometimes, but you know what? Somebody's got to do it. So I think I have talked now 31 minutes. Well, hey, like I said, I don't do these very often. Hey, look, folks, if you want to see something different in this country, you need to do something different like you did when you elected Trump. And it's got everybody upset because Trump is doing something different, something that needs to be done to bring this country back to where it needs to be in terms of having a backbone of its own, putting the American people first in our country and not building up other countries so that a few people in our country can become wealthy and live off the fat of the land. Trump is trying to stop that. And there are people who don't like it. There are people with the mindset that would rather see you dead than to see us victorious in stopping them. That is what this is about. If I win in the great state of Georgia, I won't just be benefiting Georgia. I will be helping the whole country. And those of you that know me and have followed me for the 10 years that I have been on social media, you know I don't pull no punches. You know I love God. You know I believe in the sanctity of life, even for the child in the womb. You know these things about me because I preach it all the time. Every day I send out a scripture just to get people in the habit and accustomed to reading something from the Bible every day. And that ain't for the atheists, and it ain't for folk who don't know, don't understand, don't care. That's for Christian folks to keep them to keep God and Christ forever in front of them. That's why I post those scriptures every day. A lot of you don't know it um, on a whole, but you know what? I take the time out of my day every morning to wish people a happy birthday. When it comes up in my feed, I wish them a happy birthday. I say happy birthday, make it a great day, and I give them that song by Stevie Wonder, Happy Birthday, because I care about people. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody. If you're a libertarian or a Democrat or a Republican that supports a right, on understand one thing about me. Derrick Grayson ain't gonna take nothing from you. If you get me in office, I'm not going in to take anything from anyone. All I want is for everybody to have the same and equal access to all that our Constitution affords us in this country. I will not get in office if you don't help me. You need to help me. You need to make this happen. I said the first time I ran, I'll go if you send me. And I'll go if you send me. But the only way I'll get there is, of course, if you send me. So go to GraysonForGeorgia.com. Donate. I don't care if it's $1. If 10,000 people across the country gave $1, hell, we're halfway there. We can beat the establishment. Trump is beating the establishment. Nobody thought he would win. Nobody. He fooled them all because people were willing to do something different. We need to do something different here in Georgia. Lafleur needs to go. Collins needs to go. Just because Collins is on the boat with Trump now does not excuse him for all that he has allowed to happen for as long as he has been up there in Washington, D.C. And when I say allowed to happen, he hasn't told you. One of my key things, and Barbie Dunn will back me up on this, I always say, when you tell people the truth, the people tend to do something different. And it ain't got to be everybody. that gets it. We just need enough to knock out Lafleur and enough to keep Collins from being entrenched for the next 6 years, because he will go even beyond Trump. And we don't know what we might get after Trump if we don't purge a bunch of rhinos in 2020. And that is the God's heaven truth. I would not lie to you. And again, I ain't trying to take nothing from you. I just want you to have all that God wants you to have, because our preamble says we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. And it goes on, and entitled to the pursuit or the rights to the pursuits of happiness. And yeah, I'm getting all off the anyway. Let me stop before I completely mess it up. But the right to life and pursuit of happiness. All right, right to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. I don't know why I got all twisted up on that, but anyway. So that is the long and short of it, folks. You can do with it what you want. Thank you for those who gave. You can go to the website, GraysonForGeorgia.com/donate and give. We are in the middle of a monthly fundraising campaign right now. We want to raise $20,000 this month. Let's show them our voice. And more importantly, volunteer. You may not be able to donate, but get 10 other people to donate $20. $20 is not a lot of money for a lot of people. We can do it. We can make it happen. And it's not for me. It is for the country. T-Mod out. Drive time till next time. I don't know when the next time I'll do one of these, but I needed to speak out about the situation about Flynn. And we will do another show Wednesday, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. So tune in, stay tuned. I'm going to keep you informed. And you don't have to ask me how I know. I'm going to tell you how I know. I'm going to tell you where I found out. T-Mod out. Drive time till next time, people. I love you all. Peace.